Hi, we have a short introduction to PhosPiR here. For our more detailed pipeline run and results introduction, please check out our long version at the first link. You can download PhosPiR's code at the second link. You will have this list of files after downloading PhosPiR. Open the R program, find the run file, and drag it to the R window. A series of user setup options will pop up one by one. First, select a deposit location for your result files. After that's done, you can select the type of input files you have. You can either select maxquant or other. For this demonstration, I have a maxquant file. Now select your input file and click OK. Now you can set up data pre-processing. PhosPiR asks you whether you want to remove rows with too many missing values. If you select yes, you can select a missing value cutoff. The same applies to columns. Then you can select the organism your sample is from. And now you can select imputation and normalization options. I will select both normalize and impute for this demonstration. You can select which analysis steps to run. All steps will run all functions of PhosPiR. The next step is group setup. I have a list of sample names here. The task is to put them into groups based on, for example, genotype or treatment or both. You can group them in more than one ways. You can do this by providing a group information file or go through the group setup process from the pipeline. Here, I will demonstrate setting up the groups from the pipeline. From your sample information, enter how many ways the samples can be grouped. For this demonstration, we have one way to group the samples, so I will enter 1. Then you can choose or customize a description for your grouping method. My group is based on both genotype and treatment, so I will type in genotype and treatment. Now I need to select all sample names belonging to each group. I drafted 4 groups for this grouping method. I will select sample names for group 1 based on my draft. And click OK. Select yes to the question if there is another group in this grouping method. Then select sample names for group 2. I repeated this until all 4 groups are set up. Now you can set up your group comparisons. Like group setup, you can either choose to provide a comparison setting file, or you can go through the comparison setup process from the pipeline. I will also demonstrate setting this up from the pipeline. First, you choose a grouping method. I had only one, so this is the one I choose. After clicking OK, you can choose the groups you want to compare. As a demonstration, I want to compare wild-type DMSO to knockout DMSO, so I will enter 1, 2 in the comparison input. After setting up one comparison, it will ask if you want to set up another comparison. You can repeat this process as many times as you want to have as many different comparisons as you like. When there are no more comparisons, you can click on Cancel on this question. For imputation, you can choose to include sample groupings to impute for 0 values. When it gets to statistical analysis, for each comparison, it will first ask if the data is paired. My demonstration data is not, so I click on No. Then if your comparison is 2-group comparison, a list of statistical test options will show up, and you can choose 1, many, or all of them. PhosPiR will perform all the tests you choose. After you choose your test for all the comparisons you set up, PhosPiR will get busy with calculations. You can now set up your significant lists. So for each comparison, you can select a set of cutoffs to define the list. Each list should be an interesting set of phosphosites or proteins of which you would want to obtain more information by doing further analysis on them. So to demonstrate, I'm interested in which sites are having differential phosphorylations between wild-type DMSO and knockout DMSO. I want the phosphorylation to have a minimum of 2-fold changes and a p-value of 0.05 from Rod's test between these two groups. So I choose these two options and type in the cutoff for each. It tells you how many entries survived your cutoff and asks if you want to keep this list. If you think the list is too small or too large, you can click No to discard the selection and adjust your cutoff values to get a list you would like to work with. You can repeat this as many times as you want for each comparison, then click on No when you're done. Then you can do this for the next comparison. There are a few more places during the course of the round where you can choose preferences. For example, choosing the contents of your volcano plots, choosing which annotation to include, or whether to include hub analysis. But these are rather straightforward and should only affect which analysis to be done, so this short video will not cover them. This concludes our short demonstration. I hope this video clears up a few setup hurdles for PhosPiR, and thank you very much for watching.